All right, this is the beginning of, it's on the same, still module 3 with it. Let me pull up the Word document, the instruction with it as well. So I broke this down to 2 parts. This is the first Roman numeral, is part A and B with it. This needs to be part B in here with it, and this is your part A, right? Roman numeral number 2 is the animation part, which is totally separate with it. I'm going to give you further instructions with this, but to start this out with with the second part is the Roman numeral number 2. I'd like for you to copy this A-frame school right here. So copy that link right there for me. Copy it, highlight it, and copy it for me. Open up your browser for me, please, and paste it in here. Your A-frame school with it. I need for you to navigate to this particular page. I'm going to help you navigate to it as well. Yeah, I need for you to navigate to a page that's called Compose with Entity Component. Add a light source sphere with it. So let me do this. Look at the bottom right with it. Click, 1 click, 2 clicks, 3 clicks, 4 clicks, 5 clicks. This is all stuff that you did. Open a frame. I'm going to do a separate video on this one. Compose entity component and add light source with it. So I think it's this one right here, but you have to click the down arrow key with it. So this one right here. So I went over to the right and the down arrow key. Okay. So you see how I did that with it. So the actual frame, I should have copied this one here, is this frame right here. All right, I'm gonna just, why don't I just go ahead and copy that and jump over to your Word document with it as well. So let me just say, I'm doing this on the fly, so hang on. No, this is module 3. Hang on, I'm fixing some of the stuff with it. So. Okay, use this link. Please use this link to start your part C. Okay, so you got this link right here. You could use that, or you could do what I just said as well. Okay. So this is the link that I'm looking for right now. I think I just messed up with the pasting here. Let me do it again with it. All right, yeah, there's a 1 underneath it. Okay, so so this is the one that we're going to start, and this is the animation that you see that we're going to actually copy. There's already some boxes, some cubes here with it. What we're doing is basically we're doing that white light that's going to go back and forth animation with it. Reminds me of Star Trek. You know, the Enterprise has that light goes back and forth on the Enterprise. Sorry, I'm a Trek guy. So the first thing I need for you to do is if you could go in and remix the lesson to glitch. And what this means is that it's going to download the code, this set of code here, into your glitch IDE, and so you don't have to do anything to it. So just click on it, and this gives you the instructions of these 5 things that we're going to do. Okay, so follow along. And this is what it looks like with it, right? You download it with it, and this is just a blank with it. So I'm going to click on Remix Your Own. So this downloads the code into your profile with it. And of course the file is freeze-fern-gem. It's just silly names that it does to it as well. So I want you to notice, let me click on the index. There's no light here. Show us the light, and you're going to actually show some light here, and then you're going to animate that light going back and forth in here as well. So this is the before, what it looks like with it. And this is the code that you're going to go in. Again, everything is happening between the A scene with it. We're going to insert in some of the stuff with it as well. All right, so we're ready to get started. But first thing is to remix it and put it under, make sure your profile picture or avatar is up here with it. So it actually, when you log in, it just helps for you to make that little transition a little faster with it as well. I think this is the first part. Okay, this is this part right here. All right, very well. So let's get started. So let me just jump back on the A-frame school. It gives you, this is what we're trying to produce, this animation down here with it. Step one is it tells you to look for the A entity ID light sphere. All right, so this is what we're looking for right here in your code with it, this right here. So let's toggle back to your, which is A entity light sphere. This is what we're looking for right here. Mine's line 15. Remember now, we don't have a light over here. So I like for you to, we're going to come in here, we're going to follow this instruction with it. 2, attach a geometry component with this configured to use to primitive to sphere with sphere to the entity with it. So you're basically creating a round ball shape. That's the primitive, that's the geometry with it. And we're building a material component. We're going to configure this to the color FFF, which is white. You can use white. And then the shader is flat. It also wants you to do a light component with the type 0 with it, to the entity with it as well. And so we'll do 2, 3, and 4 on this right now. So let me jump back to the this right here. This is what I like to do is let me just move this out a little bit over here so we can see a little bit more of the rest of your code, so you could see that with it. What I like to do is I like to look at things in a two-dimensional line with it. So I'm going to place my cursor right before the right angle bracket of the A entity. You see where that thing's blinking right here? I'm just going to hit enter and a backspace, 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 and line it up like this because it's a lot easier to read when I start to type in some of the attributes and properties that takes place in here with it as well. So I'll just leave the light ID light sphere with it. That's what I'll do with it. The first thing it asks you to do a geometry, right? And that geometry property, the attribute to geometry, and the properties it's asking you is the primitive sphere. The second attribute it asks for you to put is the light with it. And the light that we're going to give it is type :point. And then the last one, let's give it a position. I remember the position was -4, 3, 10. I think this is the geometry of the primitive box. I'm going to place it above this, kind of like this, above the what did they tell you in here? Did they give you a number? No, they didn't want. They didn't give me a position where this light's coming in from, did they? My guess. Let's see here. Let's see here. I would say it's going to be definitely a -4 because since it's going to be on the left-hand side over here, right? So I'm going to start up the light on the left-hand side, -4. Maybe above the y-axis is about 3, and into z is -10. So why don't I give that position -4, -4 space. What did I say? -4, 3, and another -10. How's that? So that's the XYZ. It's negative into, it's deep further away, and you could see the moment I did that, it creates some sort of light source. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of over here with it. Let's get this to a -5 or 6. Let's do 6. Yeah, I want it above that that cube. Let's give it one more. Oop, 7. Sorry. Okay, so you could see this negative, this globe of light that I kind of put above the the box that's above it with it as well. Okay. It's getting above 10 minutes in the segment with it, so let me stop right here for part C, and I want to start up another part. It's part D following this to follow up some of the stuff with it as well. But before we departure, I hope you can get this in. You can play with this a little bit with it. I have -7, but you know, you can -4 and see what that looks like. I don't know, but this is what it looks like right now, and with the light sphere with it. You remember how it was before? Now there's light sources that you can actually see with it as well. So play around with it and see. I don't know, maybe this is like a -4 x y. I'm trying to picture maybe that light's too far to the back. Maybe I should bring it up a little bit more. Let's do -5, see what it brings us. See with it. Yeah, so this is a little coming up a little further with it. It's halfway with it. I don't know, like I kind of like it in between, like 7, -7. Kind of eyeball this a little bit with it. Yeah. So there is some light source with it. That's why you can see the surface of the boxes have lights, and this one have lights on this side with it. So my guess is this you know, this is about yeah, it's about the second row. It's coming across. Yeah, so I'm going to use -4, 3, -7. It's up to you. I'm not going to ding you off of 1 or 2 pixels off of this as well. But I'm going to stop right here, okay? This is the end of part C, module 3.